Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about app toys. Now, I'm sure a lot of you remember the big app toy wave of like 2013, where the toy industry touted the increasing adoption of mobile devices as this massive untapped pool of money that they could make devices for, and were proven wrong. Because every last one of them bombed, and this included ones by big companies like Hasbro and Mattel and Lego. Heck, Hasbro thought they had accomplished making a good app toy when they put out these Star Wars Angry Birds miniatures that had like a little code that you could use to get them into the game, and as a result they put out a bunch more games that used the same format, and every last one of them bombed. It turned out they had read their data incorrectly and had made an appealing Star Wars product, not an effective app toy. So, fortunately these days, that idea has basically been thrown away, and the number of app toys that are being made, and all bomb, has greatly decreased. I mean, last year we saw the meteoric fall of Sick Bricks and Playmation. Playmation, that thing, that horribly overpriced thing that Disney put out last year that nobody even knew how to react to, myself included. This is an app toy, and the fact that it has a Five Below sticker on this super special Ultron that's supposed to be like $20, $30 normally should tell you how well that went. However, did you notice something that those app toys I talked about had in common about how they are toys that you send from the real world into the game? That sounds kind of familiar. So yeah, the rhetoric about app toys has changed. Unfortunately, the problem hasn't, and this actually appeared when I went to Toy Fair this year. I went and I asked these toy companies that were making app toys, and I said, okay, what makes them different from app toys? And the pitch I received from a lot of them generally boiled down to, well, it's Skylanders only on mobile, so you don't have to buy a big expensive console. Okay, let's break that sentence down a bit, shall we? It's like Skylanders. Oh, like Skylanders? That game whose entire genre is currently in a nosedive? You're gonna compare yourselves to that? Okay. And then the second half. Only on mobile, so you don't have to buy a big expensive console. Now that is a bold-faced lie. Because if you want me to play your game, I'm gonna have to buy a tablet. And tablets, especially a lot of the good ones, cost at least as much as, if not far more, than even the newest, fancier consoles. So these people who think that they're somehow doing people a favor or are generating an advantage by trying to shift this model onto mobile aren't doing anybody a favor. It's never an advantage to say that you're making something for mobile instead of console, because consoles are still really inexpensive compared to a lot of tablets. And frankly, Skylanders is better as a console experience anyway, because it's got long play sessions, you have to sit down and deal with these peripherals. It's a console experience. Like, if I do have a tablet that I play games on, it's going to be things that are really simple, don't require clunky peripherals, and don't really take up a lot of time. Things like Angry Birds or Record Keeper that I can do really quickly, like on the bus or at lunch break or on the can. Just those really simple kinds of games. And then of course there's the middle part, Skylanders only on mobile. The thing is, Skylanders themselves failed to make the jump to mobile during their heyday. They could not get it to mobile because, like I said before, it's a very console-centric experience. Now, I'd immediately bring that last part up when these people would start talking about Skylanders, and I'd say Skylanders bombed on mobile. And rather than, what I expected them to do is like wrap their arm around my shoulders and say, haha, my boy, but they didn't do this, before being swept off of my feet with stories about GPS pings and Wi-Fi connections and augmented reality, instead the developers would all clam up. Or, even more awkwardly, would try to continue their pitch as though I had not just squashed it. This was kind of distressing. Almost as though they thought that the fact that they were going to be putting it on mobile devices was their killer app. Because that's the thing, that pitch, that Skylanders only on mobile pitch is actually very attractive to investors who would rather bet on something that sounds like a sure thing and don't really understand how the market goes. It does not sell it to customers, as things like Sick Bricks can tell you. Even though Sick Bricks were relatively cheap, they still absolutely bombed. It's it's a real case of how to do that. So let's talk about some of the app toys coming out this year, because there's actually a bit of a variety to them. I mean, there's Nexo Knights, made by Lego, although that's actually already been out for a little while, and I've already talked a bit about that, but I'm going to talk about it a bit more, because its model is kind of different. There's Infinite Arms by Jumo, which is what really provoked me to do this video, because they are one of those people who said, we're Skylanders only on mobile, as a big selling point, so I wanted to talk about that. And then there is this game called Snack World, which is being made by Level 5, the same people behind Yokai Watch, who had like a bunch of press releases about it this time last year, had a little promo video around Christmas, and then since then I haven't really heard anything, so I don't know what their planned release date is. Let's start with Nexo Knights, because that's already out and it's pretty easy to talk about. Now, Nexo Knights is a game where you unlock special powers that you can use in the game by scanning shields that carry a special code. This can be like the series logo, it can be panels from a comic book, it can be ripped off of little moments from the show. So it's actually kind of a fun experience being able to go around and grab all these things, and I admit I actually once caught the show live and grabbed the power off of it, and it was actually kind of an exhilarating experience. And it actually triggered kind of this around the world scavenger hunt, because they would also put out the powers on displays in various stores. So if you were like in a different country and you found a power on a display that hadn't been found yet and you brought that to the community, everyone would really love that. It was a great way to build a community, but it's not a way to make money, because all of these codes are universal. That means all you have to do is go online and find a sheet with all the codes on it, and voila, you've unlocked everything in the game without paying a penny. So it's a fun little way to advertise a product. It's a cute little gimmick. It's an interesting way to tie a community together as everyone's united in trying to find the codes, but it's not a monetizable formula, and you would never make money trying to do something like that. So let's move on to Infinite Arms. Now, Infinite Arms is, they said they're basically moving Skylanders onto mobile, saying, oh, we're going to do something fresh and new by making the action figures that connect to this game bigger and clunkier. Yeah, that's... yeah, they're making like these giant action figures that contain within them a device that behaves like the portal of power from Skylanders in order to put them into a game. And this is exactly the sort of problem I'm talking about. The thing about a mobile device is mobile is in its name. The things that mobile devices have over consoles is they have convenience and portability. Convenience is that I can buy pretty much any game available for them from my couch. If you're making me having to leave my house in order to go and buy the device to run your game, you've already lost convenience. The other one is portability. Can I play it on the bus? And odds are with these giant clunky action figures, I probably could play it on the bus, but I'd really look like a dork. It's not really going to be an effective model, and they're saying that it's gonna be like totally more inspiration than Skylanders, but it's totally not. It is all of the same problems that Skylanders Mobile ran into. I think only a bit worse because these figures are bigger and clunkier. Not to say that there's nothing good that comes out of this project, because there is this thing where they're talking about how they would release weapon packs and upgrades and stuff at a fast pace, because they've developed a way to make a prototype into mass production within like 2 weeks. And now, that sounds incredible for the toy business as a whole. One, if it's true, and two, if it's cost effective, because imagine what it would be like if this new unexpected phenomenon comes out and you can expect merchandise for it within a month rather than 2 years. And then there's Snack World by Level 5. Now, Snack World involves a gimmick where you buy a little treasure chest, inside which is like a little toy weapon or shield or something like that, and they contain a little chip that allows them to interact with the smart device in order to have your character in the game wield those special items. Now, that actually sounds a bit better, because it's the rare item draw that you see in games like Final Fantasy Record Keeper, only with physical objects, meaning that while you're probably gonna pay more for it, it's also a physical object that you can trade and sell. So, in a way, it's a trade-off. You have to pay more, but you can do all this other stuff that you can't do with the stuff you get in Record Keeper. Also, it's portable. It's designed to be put on like a keychain or a phone strap, something that you can take with you everywhere. Heck, even Nexo Knights knew to put out a phone strap version of the shield so that you could carry it with you everywhere. It's portable, and that's something that Infinite Arms and a lot of these other toys that are trying to put out these big clunky peripherals don't seem to get, is that it's something that you are able to take with you. So that, I think, is really going to have a huge impact on how well it sells. Another thing is that Snack World is going to be put out for 3DS as well, so they haven't thrown all of their eggs into the mobile basket. Now, I'm not entirely sure how well Snack World will do. I mean, Level 5 themselves are touting it as the yokai watch killer, and they attempted to promote it with something that is so painfully a ripoff of Adventure Time that I think it might actually turn a few people away from it. But out of all the app toys I've talked about so far, Snack World is definitely the one you're going to want to pay attention to, because it actually kind of, it at least feels portable. It feels like something that would work well as an app toy. Now, it's not something that fully embraces the capability of mobile, and I've actually thought of something that really would be able to do that in a really interesting way, so reach out if you're a toy company, I'd love to know. But it's definitely the best of the three between Nexo Knights, Infinite Arms, and Snack World. In fact, the name Snack World kind of sounds like it would match that mobile style of gaming. You're having like little adventures. You're having a snack adventure rather than a meal adventure, which would be like a longer play style. So Snack World definitely sounds like the best of the three that I've heard of so far. So, but until then, I guess we're just going to have to see. So until next time, this is Kodak signing off.